What's up, gang? Welcome to another episode of The Grind. Get ready. It's a new day, and we're going through hard times. We lost momentum. We had momentum and we lost it. Or in life, we're just going through a really rough time. What do? First thing I want you to go to is gratitude. Grateful. Just stop for a moment and be grateful for where you are. Most of the time, you could think of things in your life that you're grateful for, be it your health, your children, living in the United States of America, having parents, your job, what you've accomplished so far, the opportunities that you have so far. There's so many things in life that you could go to gratitude. There's always somebody that would love to trade places with you. Somebody died last night, gasping for air. And they would love to trade places with you because you're stressed out over losing a little bit of momentum. Or you're upset over this little thing right now. So the second thing is perspective. We have to keep things into perspective. One of the things that I've been quoted as talking about that is keeping things in perspective is when people used to tell me how hard I was working, I would always compare it to other things that I knew. Like if somebody had to go to jail for 3 years or 5 years, they don't get to go home on weekends. They don't get to eat what they want. They don't get to travel. They don't get to sleep next to their girlfriend or boy, whatever it is. So I'm thinking, why don't I just act like, let me just grind in it. This ain't jail. I get to sleep in a comfortable bed. I get to see my wife now. So keeping things into perspective is also, or I'm not in the military. People they got to go live in this area for a year or 2 years and possibly put their life at risk. And they don't get a chance to see their parents every week if they're stationed in Georgia or Alabama or something like that. And so instead of buying everybody else telling me how hard I was working, I'm thinking about other people that may be making bigger sacrifices or working a little bit harder than me. And so I want you to be able to first go to an attitude of gratitude. Second thing is keep things in perspective. Somebody else doing more work. Somebody else went through more. How much worse it could be. So the next thing is control what you can control. Third thing, control what you can control. So often I watch people get themselves so flustered and frustrated off of things that they cannot control. This probably would have been my number one thing that I could go back on my life and say, man, I wasn't good at this 10 years ago, is I would get all upset about whatever in life, whatever rule I couldn't change, whatever thing why would I expend all this energy and anger and stress over something that I can't control? And so I just start thinking, can I control this? Do I have any control over this? If I can't control it, what sense does it make for me to stress over it if it's out of my control? The next thing is get back to the basics. So if you lost momentum, typically, my mentor Jim Surace said they went to 4 straight national championship games when he was coaching 1AA national champ Youngstown State. So he said after those 4 years, we had a year where we dipped. We didn't do well. I looked at the practices. I looked at what we were focusing on, and we lost focus of staying in the box, the fundamentals. We lost focus on the fundamentals. And so when you start to fall off, a lot of times it's because you're starting to get cute. You want to go outside the box. You've been playing football for 10 years of your life. Why do you think you should need to train the fundamentals? And so if we lost some momentum, get back to it by going back to the fundamentals. If something happened in your relationship, in your marriage, or in your life where you used to have momentum, get back on the fundamentals in your personal life. Get back on the fundamentals in your relationship. Get back to the fundamentals that you stood on and built this thing on. And then understand this. When you're going through hard times, if you do the right thing, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And you're left with that experience. And that's why they say what don't kill you only makes you stronger, because every time you go through it, you grow through it and you get stronger. If you lost momentum, everybody in the country at some point has lost momentum. Make sure you learn from what you lost the momentum from. Get back to the basics, step by step. drive by drive. You'll get that momentum back, and then remember not to lose it again and to keep your butt on them fundamentals. Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grind. Get ready. It's a new day.